Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming. So we have a bunch of deals on Wednesday. Let's have a look at these. So we begin first with Manor Lords. So Manor Lords is a medieval strategy game with big tactical battles and things like that. Game is still in early access but was hugely popular a couple of months ago when it first released. Everybody was playing it. It looks beautiful here and has very positive reviews as you can see on Steam. So 25% off, again new game, so not a big sale but it's still decent. $30, $11.24 in India, 26 in the UK, 37 in Canada, 30 in the Eurozone. Regional price is decent here. Next we have Scars Above. So I do mention this game frequently. It seems to be dropping quite a lot. This is now equal to its previous low. It's a sci-fi third-person action adventure game. Not too long. This is one of those games that you can put in the around 5 hours or so, which is I think a good length for these style of games. And reviews are 75%, but for some reason the recent ones are a bit lower. But yeah, anyway, the game is not too expensive. It is 80% off, only $6 now. $3.36 in India, $5.29 in the UK, $8.29 in Canada, and $6 in the Eurozone. Next is the Wandering Village. So another early access, and this is a city builder style game where basically you are managing your colony on the back of a giant dinosaur type creature. So I like the art style. It reminds me a little bit of the Oxygen Not Included, those style of games. Very nice, very colorful. And you have to basically look after your villagers and also the giant creature, as the villagers and the creature have a symbiotic relationship. So you have to look after both of them. 87% positive reviews. Price is also good. It's on the old regional prices. I'm always worried because I do want to get this game, but obviously with so many games you forget. This is 25% off, $18.74 in the US, $4.26 in India, $14.61 in the UK, $21.74 in Canada, $18.74 in the Eurozone. Next is Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. So I wasn't sure if I should add these games because these are multiplayer games, these are EA games. Both those things are not good, to be honest. But I loved the very first Plants vs. Zombies games. And even these ones, I've tried them and they are pretty fun. Now, I don't know if you need online people to play this game. It does say single player. I think, play this one with the EA trial thing or whatever it was. So, and this was fun. It's like Call of Plant vs. Zombies, if that makes sense, in third person. So the game is fun and also very, very cheap. With EA games, as you know, they become cheap. And all the other versions, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2, those things are all pretty cheap. So this is 90% off, $3, $180 in India, $249 in the UK, $4 in Canada, $3 in the Eurozone. Now Capcom has a regular, I could say, monthly sale. It seems to be on sale all the time. So all their games are on sale at their usual prices. And as always, I would recommend Resident Evil 2. I think best of the bunch in terms of price and the game itself. Resident Evil 3, I do like Resident Evil 3. It's a shorter game, but the difference is huge between this one and the third one. And the fourth one is probably the best game overall, but it's a new game, so it's quite expensive. So as a result, 2 is something I would recommend even to people who don't like horror games. I would highly recommend this because this was my first experience of the Resident Evil series and I found it very, very enjoyable, rightfully getting overwhelmingly positive reviews. So 75% off, $10, $500 in India, $8.74 in the UK, $13 in Canada, $13.74 and $10 in the Eurozone. Don't worry about all the other things. You just get skins and other things. You don't need that. Just get the base game more than it. Next is Valheim. So another game that was very popular when it first came out. I think people still play the game. Decent number of people still playing, as you can see. Still in early access, even though it's been out for about 3.5 years. Up to 10 people can play in co-op. The system requirements are very low because it's got an interesting sort of art style that is not too demanding. And if you like survival style games where you build your own houses and all those things, I've seen detailed videos of people making amazing houses and Viking halls and things like that, and this is very fun if you are into those sort of things. Also, regional price is still pretty good. So $10 on a 50% sale, which is equal to its low, $264 in India, $774 in the UK, 11.39 in Canada, 10 in the Eurozone. I would say still one of the few games that is popular and still on the old regional price. Next we have Potion Craft Alchemist Simulator. So another game I played a few years ago when it was first in early access, and I found it to be interesting. The art style is charming. Looks like a lot of trivia over here. So basically you are an alchemist, you move into a small town, village, and you have to prepare different potions by picking herbs in your garden and then mixing them up, and based on what people want, you provide them. And there's a nice mini game to come up with the potions. Like you can use different ingredients, and it was interesting and fun, and also quite a cheap game at this point. Very good reviews. 60% off, $3.52 in India, $8, $6.70 in the UK, $10.39 in Canada, $7.80 in the Eurozone. Another interesting game is a farming sim mixed with some 2D style fighting action game. This is Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. So you are fighting demons on the one side in like 2D style combat, and also harvesting rice. So two aspects to this. Nice looking game, and also again very well priced. 50% off, $15, $3.50 in India, $12.49 in the UK, 20 in Canada, 15 in the Eurozone. Now we have a slightly controversial game. This is Hitman Absolution. So the early Hitman games were very popular. I was a huge fan. I still have the physical PC discs with me. And so after a few games, IO Interactive decided to step away from Hitman, and then they came back to this one in 2012. This was a little different to the previous games, and at the time people did not like it. In fact, I believe they did not even want the original voice actor for Hitman. And then there was a public outcry and they got him back, and then they made this game. Now this one did not play like the normal previous games where you were given a target and you take out the target in ways you like. This one had more of a story, and it felt a bit more actiony, Hollywood type basically. Hitman would sort of reveal himself too much, and there was a bad guy and stuff like that. So all of those things, but I was a huge fan, so I played it. It's still fun, but people seem to still like it. It's a fun action game if you're not too worried about Hitman being Hitman, I guess. So 90% off, $2 only, 56 in India, 149 in the UK, 249 in Canada, and 2 in the Eurozone. So I'm mentioning this because it's very cheap. So give it a try, maybe you might like it. Couple of deals on GOG. So first we have the ever popular Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition, open world GTA style game, cult hit, 85% off, $3 only, usual price, ends in less than 24 hours. So if you want a DRM-free version of this, grab it here, links in the description. And also we have Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, the first Dragon's Dogma game, one of the few Capcom games here. They have recently added the original Resident Evil games, so I'm hoping to see the other newer ones as well here at some point in 20 years. But at least we have some games like this. 84% off, $479. And before I go, I wanted to mention a new game that looks pretty promising. This is Nobody Wants to Die, a sort of futuristic detective style game. It looks pretty good. I think it's on the Game Pass, and so far the reviews are very positive. Came out on the 17th of July, so about a week ago. And yeah, it's set in the future, 2329. Very stylish looking game. I like the look of this. I would like to try it at some point. And this is currently available on a 10% sale, but I'm mentioning this more as something to wish list for the future. $12.60 in India, $22.50 in the US, 18 in the UK, 31 in Canada, 22.5 in the Eurozone. So price is reasonable, but again, not a very long game. It's about a 5-hour game once again. The sweet spot, at least as far as single player story driven games are concerned these days. So yeah, have a look at this if it looks interesting. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. See you next time.